Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the Beaver Sports Show where our passion bucket's always full. I'm Geoff Lowe.
I'm Geoff Worden.
And I'm Jake McGrady.
This past Monday, the men's basketball team officially fired head coach Craig Robinson.
Yep.
Big news.
It finally happened.
I think we can all agree.
As a lot of Beaver fans were
I think we
expecting.
can all agree Beaver Nation kind of took a collective sigh
of
relief knowing that Craig Robinson's finally
It's a
gone.
transition
And
period.
We can finally move on.
It is. It's like a break.
Craig Robinson was here for 6 years, and he's the only coach in a power conference to not make the NCAA tournament.
It's kind of like
we never finished above 8th in the Pac-12,
which is sad.
That's horrible.
Especially in the Pac-12. Especially in the Pac-12.
For a program like Oregon State that was so good for so long in the 80s and 60s, you know.
What do you think, Josh?
The one negative of this possibility is if Oregon State doesn't name a head coach soon enough.
Oh, yeah.
Half the freshman class ends up transferring, getting out of their scholarships. Hallis Cook stays gone. However, Hallis Cook did say that Oregon State hires David Grace, who's currently assistant coach at UCLA, used to be at Oregon State. If they hire David Grace, Hallis Cook will reconsider his choice to transfer from Oregon State.
Yeah.
So that could be a best case scenario is not only do you keep all the freshmen who are committed to Oregon State,
which would be
but
huge,
even get Hallis Cook to come back. I mean, that's even better than expected.
This hire, how long do you think it's going to take to announce? Because this hire is key, and I think it needs to come fast.
They have to. I think they have to interview for like 2 weeks, but they got to make it quick because
didn't
the late
DeCorla
signing
say
period.
he's given it 2 weeks until he announces that he has something?
That was the rough.
The rough timetable. I mean, who do you think? Who would you pick for the AD? Who would you hire?
I don't know. Like I said earlier, the Lionel Hollins has been buzzed. You know, he's been out of a job for a year after the Grizzlies. But I honestly have no idea.
I think
Damon Stoudemire, risk.
Damon could
reward,
be fun.
Damon's
a bit of a risk. I think Ben Howland would be another great.
I would agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Ben Howland was a local guy born in Lebanon from Oregon. He knows the Pac-12 too.
Exactly. We need someone that knows the Pac-12. That's
exactly. He knows how to recruit, and he got UCLA to 3 straight Final Fours, even though they didn't finish. But they still got there. I mean, even for the Beavers to make the tournament at this point, that's a start.
Imagine if Oregon State made 3 straight Final Fours and never got the championship game.
This campus would just go crazy. It'd be awesome.
I mean, that's what the Beavers did back in the '60s with Terry Baker. But I mean, that would be crazy if that was the case.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any other names, but I think the best case, as long as they name a coach quickly.
Mark Jackson.
There you go.
We've been throwing it out on the desk lately. Mark Jackson, maybe.
That would be.
Maybe if
we can only hope.
$10 million, but
I mean,
no.
Well, this past Saturday, the OSU football team held the spring showcase. With more on the story, here is Jenna, Lade, and reporter Katie Beasley.
On May 3rd, Jenna and I went to Reser Stadium during Mom's Weekend to check out OSU football's spring showcase game. There was lots of excitement with the fans, but nobody had as much fun as Jenna and Benny did. There was lots of energy in the atmosphere, making it a bright and cheerful day despite the gloomy weather.
The Oregon State Beavers will welcome back one of their most prolific passers, Sean Mannion, for his senior campaign. While he's ready to be back for the 2014 season, he won't have his go-to target, Brandon Cooks. Oregon State needs to find someone to fill his shoes, and there may be no better candidate than Victor Bolden. Last season, Bolden saw limited action in the offense with only 6 receptions for 62 yards in the season. But Bolden did show great versatility in the first season with the Beavers, rushing for 95 yards and a touchdown on 12 attempts while averaging over 20 yards per kick return, with one taken all the way back for a touchdown against the Washington Huskies. He showcased well here at the spring game, and this will all serve him well as he transitions into a more prominent role in the offense in the 2014 season. Bolden's biggest plays were when he returned a kickoff 40 yards, and though the defense didn't exactly try and tackle Bolden on the return, a punt 75 yards for a touchdown.
Senior cornerback Steven Nelson was one of the top performers at the spring game. He had 2 pass breakups, including a deep ball intended for Victor Bolden down the sideline.
Oregon State picked up Alabama transfer quarterback Luke Del Rio, who will be eligible to play this fall for the Beavers. Del Rio was particularly sharp on the final drive in the first half, hitting Hunter Jarman twice and Kellen Clute, while also showing pocket awareness to roll out and throw the ball away while escaping pressure.
Hunter Jarman is a freshman wide receiver whom Mike Riley highlights as a young player with potential. The freshman had a great offensive play during the game, making a 15-yard catch near the sideline.
Here, number 26 backup cornerback Devin Chappelle had a great diving interception against Vanderveen.
Number 86, Obum Gwacham, was the only successful player to have a sack on Sean Mannion towards the end of the game. One thing in particular the Beavers may need to work on this season are their kick returns. And wait for it. Doink! Back to you, Jenna.
What do you think you guys need to work on going into the season?
Shoring up the offense. Obviously, with the new offensive coordinator, putting in some new schemes, new plays, new checks. There's going to be a lot of cobwebs at the beginning, so just got to shore those up and just getting the overall chemistry back.
And what have you been doing personally to prepare for the season?
Just getting the extra lifts in, hitting the ice tub a lot. That's crucial. Making sure your body feels right, getting the right amount of sleep, nutrients, basically everything to make your body feel right. Your body feels right, you're going to play better.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Sean, today was your day to kind of show off and showcase your skills. Do you think you were able to meet your expectations?
I think so. Some stuff to work on for sure, but I think we did a lot of good stuff. We just got to keep getting better, keep improving every day throughout the offseason and into the fall.
What do you think you need to improve on the most for the upcoming season?
As a team, I think just execution. Just continue to be sharp on our assignments. For myself, I think if I can continue to be accurate, continue to work on my footwork, I think it'll help me.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we return, we are going to talk Brandon Cooks in the NFL draft as well as the Blazers in Game 2.
Welcome back to the Beaver Sports Show. A little over an hour ago, Brandon Cooks was officially selected in the NFL draft in the number 20 slot by the New Orleans Saints.
Huge.
How about that?
Huge.
Good for Brandon. Could not be more happier. Brandon just
top 20.
Top 20 pick.
Couldn't have deserved it more.
Yeah, seriously.
Exactly.
Seems like a good dude.
Yeah, he is.
Really happy for him.
For sure.
Aren't the Saints a really fitting pick for a guy who just not just in their system, but also the Saints just as a team. I mean, he won't put up huge numbers.
Fan base.
Because they spread the ball a lot around. So he's not going to pick up 1,500 yards. But they pass the ball so much. He's a quick guy. Oh my goodness. It's going to be great for him in New Orleans. I think it'll be a
great learning experience too. Yeah. You're going to go with one of the all-time great quarterbacks, to ever play the game. You're going to learn a lot.
You're going to learn a ton.
Especially with Sean Payton and Drew Brees.
Right.
He's going to learn a ton. He just has to soak it up and produce.
Take it in.
Which I think he will.
Take in his first year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the Saints actually traded up to get him. It wasn't like
big compliment.
Yeah, it shows they really wanted him.
I thought he might have gone to the Jets. With that 18th, 17th pick. But looking back at him, I'm much happier that he's going to be catching passes.
I am much more happy
Drew Brees
that he's going to the
Smith.
Saints. I'm not a huge Saints fan, but I'd much rather see him with the Saints than the New York Jets.
Now we're Saints
Black
fans.
And gold.
Yeah, we can all support the Saints.
I can support the Saints.
What's also interesting is that the Saints traded up, and there's two wide receivers who are possibilities. 2 Biletnikoff Award winners.
Marquise
Lee from USC 2 years ago. Brandon Cooks from this year. Do they pick Marquise Lee? No. I don't know if he even got picked in the first round.
He's still on the board
in the second round.
Second rounder.
2 phenomenal Pac-12 wide receivers. Good for the Pac-12.
Seriously.
Got to plug them. Got to plug the Pac-12.
Brandon Cooks.
So let's transition to the NBA playoffs. Guys, you are the resident Blazer. Oh, Jake, you're the resident Blazer homer. Blazers got stomped tonight. What's your reaction?
Stomped back-to-back.
Back-to-back, sure.
My reaction, I don't quite know what to make of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to feel right now. Besides just complete.
You're in a glass case of emotion, one would say.
I am.
Okay.
If I wasn't attached to all these cords, I probably would run.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Cords.
Cords.
It's tough.
They played. In that series against Houston, it just seems like Portland was so much more fluid offensively.
So much more energetic.
Yeah. Houston just wasn't as good of a defensive
team. In the Houston series,
terrible.
Houston was a great matchup for Portland because Houston's young. They both love to run, which was great for Portland. Portland loves to get out and run and shoot threes.
It's this slow pace.
And now San Antonio slows it down. They play the old man ball, like we were saying before. San Antonio is the old men who you play at the YMCA who are going to set hard screens, box out, and hit mid-range jumpers and make you look foolish.
Elbow you in the gut.
They're going to give you those little elbows, and you're just going to look. You're going to feel really foolish after you play, those old guys.
Which we have. Back to back. Feel like fools.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you can't flop in the YMCA, but you can in the NBA. So that's
can
one
in the NBA.
extra thing that the Spurs have as well. That a YMCA.
Flop, Manu
King
likes
flop.
to flop.
Oh, yeah.
Manu kind of brought flopping to the NBA.
He did.
Him and soccer. Soccer somehow got infused.
European gone
game,
national, gone U.S.
Yeah, flopping. It's an issue now. Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's just say, obviously 2 must-wins in Portland. Game 3, probably the most pivotal game that the Blazers have faced in the playoffs thus far.
How do you think the series ends? As of right now, down 2-0.
Down 2-0, coming as a biased fan, I could see it. I could see us getting it together and getting in 7.
Really? In 7?
In
so
7.
That means you're
Pulling
winning
in Dallas.
That means you're winning 7 in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't see Portland winning a single game. I honestly don't. If you look at how they're playing these 2 games and how it was against Houston, just the difference it was, I don't see Portland winning a single game. I don't see what they could possibly change. I mean, you could say they need to hit more shots and you play better defense, but really,
I'd agree with that
they'll make
more
it
than
close,
Jake's point of getting to 7. Well, Portland's just not rebounding. San Antonio's just had so many second chance opportunities this series. It just seems like every time San Antonio shoots, they get their own rebound.
Portland I think out-rebounded them in the second game, or in the first game.
Yeah.
But it just seemed
like
like the Spurs were getting every rebound that counted.
Let's just see what happens in Portland. See if anything changes. I hope so.
We can all hope. Well, that'll wrap it up here on another edition of the Beaver Sports Show. I'm Mark Mad Dog Madsen.
I'm Luke Babbitt.
And I'm Jeremy Lin, and this is why I'm wearing the crimson, because apparently I'm a Harvard fan.
Go Cougs.
Yes.